Yeah, big up to each and every one, people. Yeah, man, you know the thing going on. Enough respect for the check-in. Yeah, man. So let me big up the ones and ones where they are, bright and early. Only good karma. Big up yourself all the way from over England. We know the thing go. Maat Root, big up yourself. Godfrey Goldburn, big up. Lynette Thompson, big up. Butts Hamilton, big up. Kenny Marshall, big up family. LTR, big up. As a matter of fact, sound check 369. Sound check 369. So let me see the nines them there. Sound check, sound check. Beg on a sound check, please. Ah, that is good, Merkaba. Big up yourself, You don't know the thing, go. So, let me continue with the formalities. Kenny Marshall, LTR, enough respect. Carla, big up yourself. Rick Storm, big up yourself, family. Jamon, big up. You know the thing, go. Julius Diamond, big up. Merkaba, big up, Yeah, man, big up, Anthony. Give thanks to the check-in, Bridget, give thanks to the check-in. You get what me I say? Lynette Thompson, big up yourself, man. Yeah, man, give thanks to the confirmation. Gippo D, yeah, man, respect for the check-in. DJ Congo, respect for the check-in. So we have 17 people in the building so far. Greatly appreciated. Um, Please remember to just leave a like on the screen. Leave a like. You get what me I say? So at least it can get the thing fully active in the algorithm because you don't know the thing go. It's a small platform, but we are take time build it step by step. You get what me I say? Tonight, as you guys can see, yeah man, is a Marcus Garvey reasoning. I go on nine night, yeah. Cause you don't know the thing going on. We respect the works of Marcus Garvey and what he did for the movement in terms of the liberation, for black people. You get what me I say? And before I introduce the guests, I'm gonna just go through a brief synopsis. You get what me I say? Because we know say Marcus Garvey, ones and ones call him the prophet. You get what me I say? At the time when black people were looking for someone or self-pride. You get what me I say? In 1896 in Ethiopia, the Battle of Adwa really made an impression to Africans in the diaspora. So when Africans in the diaspora realized that Menelik had defeated a European colonial power, it gave the Africans in the diaspora great pride. So, as a result of that, you had men like Benito Sylvian, who was from Haiti. Because we know say, at the end of the day, say Haiti was one of the free countries where we can say, yeah, man, black man, yeah, free, and we can beam with pride. But and the reality is that after the Battle of Adwa in 1896, when Africans in the diaspora found out, yeah, man, we were very prideful. As a result of that, it created like Pan Africanism in a sense that, the first Pan African Congress, if memory serves me right, yeah, man, was 1900. Yeah, man, formed by all Sylvester Williams, them, and Booker T. Washington, and them people. You get what me I say? Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, Marcus Garvey did pioneer, in the black empowerment movement. You get me I say? We know say Marcus Garvey going to America. You get me I say started the UNIA and the Black Star Line. And we know say in 1923 now them sabotage him, right? And charge him for mail fraud and them something there. Lock him up. I think over in Atlanta there for about one couple of years. The president named Calvin Coolidge in 1927, yeah man, commute him sentence in a sense that him say, all right, here go on, him serving time, so make we deport him. So in 1927, now Marcus Garvey was deported to Jamaica. You get what me I say? Yeah, man. And in 1929, If memory serves me right, Marcus Garvey started the People's Political Movement. You get what me I say? That was the first political party in Jamaica. You get what me I say? We can represent the people them and them things there. And the rest is history. While he might not have gotten that much traction, enough ones and ones never know say Marcus Garvey was actually Marcus Garvey served as some rep for a municipality in Kingston, You get what me I say? So that did work out. Lally Bella, big up family. Give thanks he check in. Miss Julia, bless up. Sweet Pea, big up. You don't know the thing go. Yeah, man. So, he started the People's Political Movement 1929 and, yeah, man, and did serve in some capacity in the municipality of Kingston. Long story short, he went to England and his ideology never sat too well with many of the blacks. And we know about the W.E.D. Du Bois, who was all about integration, and Marcus Garvey was all about separation. So their philosophies and ideologies were somewhat diametrically opposed. So we have Mr. Antwayne Campbell here. He is the president of the same Marcus Garvey party there. A young, brilliant mind. And yeah, man, he might deal with some things where we have to kind of give him a little strength and support because, as they say, a child shall lead them. Michelle Clark, big up for checking. Karine Wilson, big up. You get what me I say? So Mr. Antwayne Campbell is here, and him definitely got a little reasoning to outline to us the objectives of the party and the whole movement and stuff like that. And there's also a youth empowerment um thing I go on the 22nd. I think a Mountain View side there. And we have all Queen Ifrica them and Sizzler them and them people that support the thing. So he will elaborate on that as well. You get what me I say? And ones can support as best as possible. So the link to join the panel is pinned. But Miss Julia, remember to check in, You get what me I say? So Mr. Antwayne Campbell is going to have the floor, and when he's finished, yeah, man, ones and ones can check in and ask any questions that they would like to ask. You get what me I say? Because I think we need to support the vision, you get what me I say, of Mr. Antwayne Campbell as best as we can. So, Mr. Antwayne Campbell, yeah, man, feel free to unmute your mic and you have the floor, my brother. Yeah, man, just do a formal introduction and then you can just reason with the people. You get me?
Well, first of all, I have to give thanks for your podcast for having me here today. It's an absolute pleasure every time to be a part of engage in discussion, be a part of discussion that will ultimately give us some sense of direction or some sense of purpose. So I am honored to be here today. As everyone know, my name is Antwayne Campbell, the youngest president of any political party, for that matter. Um, we are currently in the process of rebuilding stage, where we are recruiting young-minded, creative, innovative youths from the inner city, all walks and class of life into the party. Um, my message still remain the same. I'm all about unity. Currently, we are in the process of building an alliance with different third parties like NDM of Jamaica, um, JPM. So we are currently in that process of creating an alliance that would back each of us in our endeavors. So I am committed to the struggle. It's a struggle, and I'm committed to it, and I won't stop until Marcus Garvey and my dream come to full fruition.
All right, well said, family. Remember, ones and ones, please remember to just leave a like on the stream. And if you are new to the channel and you have not subscribed as yet, yeah man, please feel free to leave a subscription so we can grow the platform. Last time I checked, I think we're at 587 subscribers. Greatly appreciated to each and everyone. We just want 13 more subscription to the road to 600 and them something there. You don't know it got enough respect. So, Mr. Campbell, yeah man, just continue. As it relates to the party, the objectives. I know you said that, you guys are working on a coalition, but I also know that you guys separately have a manifesto as well. So, yeah man, probably you can just outline the objectives of the PPP so that the people can be more knowledgeable of the movement.
Well, the manifesto is a book, so to speak, a little small, tiny book, not a heavy book, but it is consists of so many things. But I will only touch on maybe one and two or three, four, five things that is prevalent in society. So the first thing is agriculture. We are, Gavin, normally say a country or a people or a race that depend upon another race is ultimately would lead to enslavement. So we realize that, we understand that, and we as a political party would heavily look towards agriculture. Now our people in the inner city, most people really and truly haven't seen a live chicken in Jamaica 2023. That's factual. Most students don't know about agriculture, how to farm, how to reap, how to sow, none of that. You understand? So we believe if agriculture is implemented in the school system or it is implemented in the prison system, then our country will be able to not only feed itself, but export. And that was some will build some sort of stamina to our economy. So agriculture is one. Another thing I see Ninja Man came out in the Observer or Glean, I believe, was reaching out to Prime Minister about building a prisoner reconciliation program. We have been advocating for that for the longest while because we are saying that what's the sense in holding someone behind bars for a period of time and then releasing that person when served them time, releasing that person back into society, not as a renewed mind, not as a renewed personality, not as a renewed character, but releasing them back into society just as the way they come in. So
Right.
we are advocating that system that Ninja Man is rallying around or putting emphasis on. We would have to, or we not want, we will implement that such system to give the prisoners opportunity to not only grow them consciousness, but the ability to earn some sort of qualification, some sort of degree, some sort of self-upliftment program whatsoever. That
Right.
when
Hold that thought for a second, Mr. Campbell. Sorry to interrupt you. We have 51 people in the building. Yeah, man. Gratitude is a must. Yeah, man. Please remember for us, leave a like on the stream. Big up success over hype. Yeah, man. Big up unlocking our voices. Don't go nowhere now. Are you reasoning this? Big up Dead D. Yeah, man. Big up all of the ones and ones. I'm gonna check in. So you mentioned about the Ninja Man letter in reference to like a prison reform, kind of thing, where he's focusing on rehabilitation, right? And I saw where at the JLP conference, Dr. Strong, he presented like a strawman fallacy because what Ninja Man was speaking about was rehabilitation of the people in the penal system. And Dr. Strong saw the need to talk about Mark Golding as justice minister or whatever, right, or attorney general at the time, indeed actually implement a law, or he put forward a law that will affect the expungement. But that wasn't, the conversation that Ninja Man was actually putting forward. He was saying, for those who are in the penal system, right? There needs to be some form of rehabilitation, aka prison reform. So go to family.
Ninja Man, I say Ninja Man is facing it, Ninja Man is facing the reality for far too long of what's happening in the prison system. It's a disaster. It no look good. You understand? And these are people that maybe make mistake, some make mistake, some go inside without even committing the crime that was brought against them in court. And some of them deserve to be in it. But the fact of the matter is they are human beings, and human beings should be given a real second chance in society. So we are pushing, we are advocating, we are saying that if this government should be in power, then, so to speak, then that rehabilitation center would be implemented effectively, because we understand that one of the factors of crime and violence is because youths, men and women, don't really and truly don't know themselves. They don't know who they are. They were cast aside in society, and we believe if that system is properly put in place, then not only will it change their mindset, but it will give them a certificate or a degree to say that whenever I leave this system, this prison system, then this is how I will continue, or I will recreate my life. And then afterwards, we are looking at, as I said, mentioned the agriculture, where them can be useful in the development of the economy, by growing the food, reaping food for the country, put them to work, so to speak. So that's another aspect that is mentioned in the manifesto. Another thing I would like to look at is the the transport system. Then, you understand? To be honest, it don't look good. The problem can solve, but I don't know. These people who are in power seems as if it's a rocket science to solve the problem. We must can create a centralized parking system in every city. You understand, where the taxi man can drop off and pick up. It don't look good for a taxi man to be working him honest bread, and then at the same time have to run from police because of the yellow white, the yellow sidewalk that the law that they are breaching. And we are saying that enough is enough. It's time for the government to work with these people, because these taxi operators play a vital role in our economy, which is moving working class people to and from their destination. So they should be treated fairly. Another aspect that is in the manifesto, where we believe that should be implemented, is NEPA being fully engaged in the community cleaning program. You understand? In communities that I've lived in, I can say with confidence that the garbage collectors don't come around them side. And as a result of that, people have to find different solution how to dispose them garbage. Some put it on the street, some put it in the gully. You understand? So NEPA should be engaged, well active in the communities as it relates to creating a centralized garbage dump for each community and regulating a, a garbage collection schedule or system to remove those garbage. Because one of the things that really affect the the people in the inner city lives is their ambience, their surrounding, how it look.
Right.
You understand? And separately and apart from the zinc fence and the bad road, it dirty.
Right. And just hold that thought for a second. I'm happy that you mentioned NEPA because while it is the responsibility of the National Solid Waste Management, right, Authority, for garbage disposal, I think NEPA, you don't know it, they tend to govern the environment protection. And as such, I think they need to engage more communities in terms of sensitizing them about garbage disposal and proper disposal techniques and stuff like that. Just like how you have some countries where you know so here happen now. If it's plastic, you put it in a plastic container for disposal. If it's cardboard or paper, you put it in a next, container. And if it's household garbage now, you put it in a different container. So at least proper disposing techniques will be adhered to. So I'm happy that you brought that up because I think that is something that the Jamaican society, especially in the inner city communities, is lacking. Nobody cares about garbage disposal. If you live near one gully, you just go at the gully and you just empty the garbage in the gully. When rain fall, everything run go out of the sea. You get what me I say? So I'm happy you brought that up. But go through family.
Yeah, I mean, what we are what we are pushing for right now is for Jamaica to be a fully republic. We believe that that will demolish the entire colonial system that was given unto us. Because with a presidential state, you understand, that would lead the president to selecting his or her cabinet, set them up in place, and hold them accountable for not completing or serving the public. And
Right.
we are calling for, when that is implemented, a right to recall, impeach. We are saying that the politician, so to speak, should be a servant of the people. And if the people is is uncomfortable or not satisfied, they should have a right to recall. They should have a right to remove they are impeach the president and elect a new one. So far too long we have been suffering with the colonial system that was given unto us. The red, the green, and the orange. And we need a change. If we read the poll in the last Gleaner, 37% of the people in Jamaica not participating in a local election. And that was not gained, census was not gained from the entire Jamaica, but it's still relevant. 37% is not participating in the local election because they don't see where it is necessary. They don't see how, basically they don't have any interest in it.
Right.
But in the last poll that was done, the majority of Jamaicans state that they are pushing or they want a change of the complete system, which is and move it towards Jamaica being fully republic. The
Right.
people is demanding that. We are standing with the people. We are saying that we want to be a servant of the people. You choose that, you state that this is the way forward. We agree. We have been advocating for that for the longest while. So why not move straight into that? Why not demand it? It's there in the new constitutional reform that open up the gates. It's there. Jamaica can be a fully republic state, and the people really and truly want it. So why not? Why the government don't put that on the table?
Right, but you see, hold that thought for a second. As it relates to constitutional reform, right? We know that they are working on the constitution, about 13 of them, right? We have not seen a lot of public engagement in terms of sensitization. We see a couple little town halls, but I think Jamaica on its way to being a republic, right? I think the majority of the people needs to be aware of what the new constitution entails, because I am of the view that they are going to go with the Barbados template, where the governor general is like a ceremonial president, so to speak, and then you might have like whether a prime minister or a president. You get what I'm saying? I think it might be a prime minister thing, just like in Israel. In Israel, they have a president, right? I think his name is Isaac Herzog, something like that. And they have the prime minister Benjamin Netanyahu, but the prime minister is the more powerful one. So I think that a Republican system where the president is the head of state, you get what I'm saying, should be the way to go. But I think a lot is being hidden right now, and not a lot is being divulged as it relates to the new constitution and what the leadership structure as it relates to the government will be. So I agree with you that it's incumbent on the people to press the government to say, hey, listen to me, we don't want no Barbados system when a governor general is president acting in no ceremonial role. We need a president who is the head of state, and that is it. So continue, family.
Yeah, and in addition to that, the people should be at the table. You understand? The people should be partaking in putting their proposal to the current government and the opposition that this is our proposal with Jamaica being on the road to republic. You understand? The people should demand that this is the change they want to see. Because as I stated before, it is already there. It's clear in the poll. It's there. And for the government to move forward with the general election, being in its stage now, that it was from we gain independence, so to speak. For them to move along with that same system is totally disrespectful to the people decision. You understand? So we are saying that the election should be boycott. You understand? Should be set aside, and for once, let the people give the people what they want, so to speak. So we are advocate of that. We are saying that we are standing with the people as it relates to that. We as I stated before, is enough.
Hold that thought for me, Antwayne. When you said elections should be put aside, you're talking about like a set election date. That's what you're referring to? Like
Right,
having a
right.
set election date. Like how in America we know so here go on now. Every 4 years, whatever, November the 7th or whatever, or November the 4th is a set election date. You get what I say? That's what you are insinuating when you say like election should be put aside.
Yes, definitely. But not only that. My brethren, why? The question is, why are you ignoring what the people want and still pushing your own agenda as it relates to continue with the two colonial
Right, the powers, or
election,
so to speak. Right,
PMP and JLP, and
right.
the war between it. Why is I can't understand it. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. I really can't understand it. It's
Well, I think Antwin, I think sometimes it's a result of the fact that Jamaica is very tribal, right? And we can see that going on now with Portmore, right? They want to turn Portmore into a parish, right? No hospital, not a Portmore, nothing like that. But they want to turn it into a parish. And what they also want to do is to create certain boundaries. So what will happen now? When they create these constituency boundaries, them cut off a portion to, you know, PNP over there so and PNP there so and JLP there so. So it is advantageous to them. So now there's a squabble. But I think the public is not that engaged in what's going on with the politics. It becomes very tribal. So therefore, once me a labor right, it doesn't matter what Andrew Owens do, he can do no wrong. So I think the tribalism is really an impediment to the growth and development in terms of our political maturity. But continue, family.
well, you hit the nail on the head right there. To be honest, hold on. Right, you hit the nail on the head right there. To be honest, but that's what we're pushing for. Um, so in continuation with the manifesto, I want to say one thing and then give us your panelists a time to ask question, because I believe you look at the manifesto, not true?
Yes, 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 I did.
Right. So I believe we can take it from there. But we are always advocating for Black history to be taught in school. We have spoke to different minister of education, prime ministers, different representatives, and nothing has changed. But we believe that if Black history is being taught in school, Marcus Garvey philosophies and opinions, that will change the youth's outlook on themselves and their surrounding, and will kind of reduce crime and violence to some sense. You understand what I mean? So we are always advocating for the philosophies and opinions to be taught in school, but we have taken things a bit further, where we launch a youth upliftment workshop at the University of the West Indies, where we will take it upon ourselves to go inside the universities, teach the philosophies and opinions of Marcus Garvey and other Black histories, and also engage with the students on what are their challenges they're facing in this real world, their reality, and providing solution to it. So that we have launched it in December, and we are continuing the process um, come 2024. So go
Right, go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. I want you to expound on the event that is coming up on the 22nd, right? Yeah, I want you to expound on that for me, please, so the audience can be aware of the event and its objectives and things like that.
All right. So as I stated before, I am not the person to sit around and keep begging and asking and pleading to the government to make things better and come make a change. No. What I'm doing is that I will be having a youth upliftment drive or a community upliftment drive in each communities right across Jamaica. So we're starting, we're doing the launch of it um, at Amy Jakes Garvey Community Center, where we will be focusing. So in the morning would be a workshop program where different speakers. Mutabaruka will be there also. Will come and shed their knowledge on different areas, different topics. That is in the morning segment, and in the evening segment would be a concert, performance of music, arts, culture, poets, so much more.
Right.
And then after that, we will sit down with the leaders in the community and find out what is it the community want, whether employment, scholarship, XYZ, and create a strategy in benefiting that community. And then that process will continue, as I stated before, straight right across Jamaica.
Right. Hold a thought for a second. Sweet Pea, big up, Soji, respect for your check-in. Esa Spade, big up yourself. You don't know a thing, go. So, before I open the floor, I just want to say this. Ones and ones, the link is pinned at the top. So you are free to join the panel and ask any questions as it relates to, Mr. Antwayne Campbell and the PPP's objectives. He made a valid argument about like prisoner reform or rehabilitation. That's a solid argument. You get what I'm saying? And ones and ones are free to check in and ask him, any questions that are, related to the things that he's about and what he said. So please feel free to do so. We have 53 people, yeah, man, on the live. You don't know it, got enough respect for that. Because you know it going on is a reasoning with the Marcus Garvey People's Political Movement. And I think it's very fitting, Mr. Antwayne Campbell, that you're going to start off this community upliftment, youth upliftment drive, because I appreciate that initiative, because to solve Jamaica's issues is not to chop the branches, it's to focus on the root. And to
Yes, yes.
focus on the root is to focus on the youth. So that's a very good objective to pursue in terms of engaging with the youths in the communities, especially in the inner city communities where there's crime and violence rampant. So that's a very good gesture. So family, please feel free to hit the link and check in. So at least we know, say, yeah, man, ones and ones can ask the question. Unlocking our voices, I know you're here as well. Respect for the check-in family. Mr. Antwayne Campbell is here. Unlocking our voices is, a Marcus Garvey height as well. Mr. Campbell. So, unlocking our voices. Go to family.
Yes, yes, yes. Blessed greetings, and I'm so excited of this discussion and see Mr. Campbell online. Before I ask all the questions, because there's many questions in my head. And one of the things I hear you talking about the political between the JLP and the PNP and your political party. And I was thinking about Marcus Garvey's speech, when he said, any leadership that teaches you to depend on another race
It's
is
a
a
leadership
leadership
that will
that will
enslave you.
enslave you, right? And so, with that being said, as Imhotep just said, this is Unlocking Our Voices. I have a podcast on YouTube and in Spotify. In fact, Garvey is the inspiration of this podcast. So the agenda and the podcast focus on Marcus Garvey philosophy in terms of Black unity. Now, you create a political party, the Garvey Party. I'm interested to know what type of connection or bridge that you have with the president, Mr. Steve Golden of the UNIA. Are you guys in collaboration? Because one of the things that I noticed, I live here in the States, I live here in the United States. And one of the things I interviewed Steve last year when I was in Jamaica, right? And we see these division with the UNIA organization that Garvey created almost a century ago. And that's my belief. That's one of the biggest problem we have, this disunity. right? We have the UNI here in Jamaica, different parts in the States, in Latin America, in the Caribbean, and so forth. So if you have created a Marcus Garvey political party, where is the collaboration and conversation with the UNIA there in Jamaica?
Well, let me correct you with one thing. I didn't create it, the PPP. The PPP was the first political party created by Marcus Garvey. So I didn't create anything.
Yes,
I didn't.
yes,
Yeah,
thank
I
you for
didn't.
that correction. Yes, yes, yes.
Right, I didn't get up and say, "Well, I want to be the president. Appoint me as the president." No, but I want. All right, so I believe. See, I'm being careful with my words now because I don't want to you know ruffle any feathers. But if Garvey should get up from his grave and see what is happening in Jamaica right now, where the UNIA and the PPP, these arms that he have created to be united and be firm with the objective of liberating black people, I believe that he would be disappointed and he would be very, very much angry. The UNIA that Steve Golden is a part of, the president, that chapter. We haven't gotten any support from Stephen Golden. We haven't gotten, we're putting on this youth upliftment drive that I'm sure that he is well aware of, and even putting on the launch at UE, the workshop where students are being taught about Black history and Marcus Garvey philosophy. Well, I'm sure that he's aware of. We haven't gotten any support. We haven't gotten any sit-down discussion from the UNIA that Steve Golden is the president.
The president of. One question, quick question though, Mr. Campbell. Have there been any, means of communication from your end as it relates to, reaching out to Mr. Golden and stuff like that?
I have talked to Mr. Golden, text Mr. Golden, try to call him even on so many occasions. He know who I am. We have communicated. I reached out to him. But as I stated before, there is no support, hands down,
right,
from coming from Steve. Because here's the reality of it: there is a building downtown in King Street that was purchased by Marcus Garvey. It's Marcus Garvey building,
right.
And walk past the building, you wouldn't know that that building belongs to Marcus Garvey, right? And that building could be useful and beneficial in so many areas, and not even a sit-down discussion with the PPP to say, how can we work together? How can we bring back the light to this building? How can we make this a building that is benefiting people not only in the community, but the black race on a whole? There is no discussion made about that. There is no discussion made about we moving into university and how best they could assist us with getting books, with getting lectures, with getting people from the international diaspora on board to highlight or educate or inform the students on things that they don't know. There's been no discussion about the youth upliftment drive coming Friday and how they could assist us. There have been nothing of the sort. And that is the reason why I say Garvey would be not only disappointed, but he would be disgusted at the stage or the state that the his movement is
Right.
going or
Right.
is on. You understand? And it is very, 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 I don't like to speak about it because sometimes it get me all emotional and all them stuff. But the floor is always open. You understand? The
Right.
floor is always open for discussion. And my office is never closed to representatives from his side, as it relates to building a collaboration and working together. It's always there. But I must be truthful with you. There is no collaboration between the PPP and the.
Right. Right. So pretty much it is somewhat it is somewhat fragmented, or there is no unity, so to speak, right? And I think that is something that has to be worked on, because the fact that, as a political party, you are considering joining a coalition of other political parties, I think you will be much stronger with Mr. Golden. You get what I'm saying? Being a part of the group or the movement. So I think, it's never too late to extend the proverbial olive branch. But time is always the master. We have 56 people in the building. Big up AK Sinclair. Big up SSP. Big up Dead D. Yeah, man. So please remember to leave a like, right? Please to also remember, if you're new to the channel and you appreciate the content, let's leave a subscription. You get what me I say? Yeah, man. The reason is a very uplifting and empowering reasoning. So we kind of overstand, say, while we have 60 persons here, yeah, it's not no bagger if you have no 200 people or whatever. But at the end of the day, yeah, man, it's all about the substance of the argument. So unlocking our voices. I don't know if you want to have a follow-up question or anything like that, and then I can give Lalibela the floor as well.
Well, Mr. Campbell is it's kind of shocking and disturbing to me still, nonetheless. And I always have to think, when I think of Garvey Party is a liberating party. It wasn't a political party in the sense of PLP and JLP, but it's for black upliftment. And one has to always remember that black upliftment, pose a threat to those who gave us the Constitution. The black Marcus Garvey, and whether it be the JLP or the PNP, me see things different. But we leave that because, before we end the show tonight, I want to make sure that we have some contact, because I would also like to interview you on unlocking our voices too, and we can
Right,
go upon
right.
some other things there. But you mentioned earlier when I came on, you mentioned in revising the agricultural aspect in terms of farming, right? Now you're talking about something that is very dangerous to neocolonialism. And when I say neocolonialism, you have to understand a lot of the businesses in Jamaica are not necessarily Jamaican control or Jamaican based. They're from Canada, they're from America, and from so forth. And I think instead of the agricultural aspect is a good thing. But what about the political party, the Garvey Party now, in which we can foster Jamaica home-based manufacturing, including tying it with the agricultural, because one of the things that why you see Jamaica's standard of living is not working for the masses of the people, right, is because we have these outside corporation that comes in, them say them create job, but them now pay the people substantial living in terms of wages. So in what is your plan in terms of the economic aspect of growth, ingrown Jamaican-based company? Because
All right. Sorry to cut you, but I'm 100% agreeing with you. I actually made mention of that. This was not your podcast Imhotep, but I believe it was another podcast where I state that well, I basically brought up what you brought up, where Jamaica is already a brand. I mentioned of that in another podcast with Imhotep was present, I believe.
Right.
What's the name of that
Yeah,
podcast?
man. That was on Rick Storm TV's platform. Right.
Right, that was on Rick Sam's TV platform where
Right.
I made mention of what you brought up and our plans, our stance on it, where Jamaica is already a brand. We are rich in agriculture. Whereas if we package and label and market even mango, that would benefit our economy. And we already know about the medicinal use of different plants, different bush. If we package it, label it, test it, and push it to the global market, then that will be beneficial to our economy. That was stated on Rick's podcast.
Right.
These are the solutions to our economic and to our people, where the PPP would place greater emphasis on if we got the opportunity. And as I stated before, I am at a crossroads where I'm not going to no longer sit back and wait. No, I'm going to do what is on our manifesto. Most of what is on our manifesto as it relates to marketing the different herbal plants, packaging it, distributing it, marketing, you understand what I mean? Raw material like making flour from banana X, Y, and Z. We have already made mention of that, and we are 1,000% in support of what you said.
Okay, well said, well said. But one of the things, and my stance, my views, I'm a Pan-Africanist, I'm a Marcus Garvey's view, and my goal is the liberation of Black people, not just in Jamaica, but globally, right? That's my view. But we are focused on Jamaica in this in the short time we have right now, focus on Jamaica. But in what you are subscribing to and what you want to do, how practical it will come to fruition, given the fact that we have two political parties, the JLP and the PNP. They don't think in a Black nationalistic idea, are thinking that Jamaica, the massive 80% or 90% of the people in Jamaica are of African descent. That's a fact. But the reality is the massive of Black people now benefit from the resource, now benefit from the economy. You understand? The Chinese have more privilege and more rights coming in, are the Mexicans, or the Canadians, or the Americans, right, have more rights than Black Jamaicans. Now, you are leading a political party. How is you going to address these issues and solve these issues?
Right. All right. Before he answers, right? Once he finishes, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have Lalibela, drop a question in Unlocking Our Voices. You get what me I say? We have 61 people here. Yeah, man. Enough respect for the check-in. Please remember to leave a like on the stream. And if you're new to the channel, leave a subscription. I think we need like about 13 more subscription to reach 600. So we're building the platform step by step. Mr. Antwayne Campbell, yeah, man, you can unmute your mic and respond to Unlocking Our Voices question.
All right. So we are currently in the process of working with, this is true, but I can't state the country, or you understand what I mean? Because, yeah, you understand, but we are currently in the process of working with international forces, with getting land engineers from their country to Jamaica to recycle our lands, and put it to use. We are also targeting the communities, whereas we are getting people from the community on board to work with the land engineers as it relates to recycling our land and putting our herbal bush and plants into use, and also our raw material, packaging it and distributing it to the people of Jamaica. And another aspect that we are looking at, or we're working on, is taking it to building a bridge with Africa, having a cultural mixture. You understand? Introducing our resources, introducing our medicine, introducing our culture to not all of Africa per se, but a state or a country in Africa. That is in the making, but I can't deliberate on it for now. I can't.
All right, that's fine. All right, Lalibela. Yeah, man. Go to family. Bless up.
Yes, yes, Anna, Mr. Campbell, salute here, sir. Salute Imhotep.
Yeah,
Salute
man. Bless up.
unlocking our voices. Um, well, clearly the first order of business, right, is to ensure that Mr. Campbell get in contact with Mr. Golden so they can have a sit down. And Mr. Fuller, I'm sure you can take care of that, right?
Yeah, man. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, so reach out to Mr. Golden so we can get that sorted out. There's no Garvey movement in Jamaica gaining any kind of traction without Mr. Golden being involved and Mr. Fuller unlocking our voice.
Right.
So I think that should be the first order of business. Now, Mr. Campbell, I have a question for you, right? To the extent that one isn't familiar with Marcus Garvey, why should one support you and your party, the Garvey Party, with the hopes that they will gain better traction than the PNP versus JLP? What about Marcus Garvey's philosophy that would inform the level of political participation and support that the people of Jamaica ought to have realized?
Well, that question is a very good question, by the way. The PPP, as stated in the name, it's a people's political party. That means it is fully with the people, for the people. And as I stated in the previous discussion with Imhotep, is that we are pushing certain things that the current and previous government is not pushing. For starters, we are pushing the right for a recall. Understand? We are saying that if this government is not serving you, then you have all right to eliminate and choose a different representative to act in your behalf. I also made mention of Jamaica being a republic state because, as stated before, I see where it would demolish the entire tribal system, the entire political warfare, the same old foolishness that is happening now, where PMP is going against JLP and JLP is going against the PMP, and people, innocent citizens, is being caught in that warfare and basically being killed. We are saying that with this being implemented, not only would it demolish or eliminate the entire tribal system, but it will restore real power back to the people. That's the best way I can kind of put it in a small box for you.
So, yeah, respect, Sin. So the PNP party, People's National Party, references to people, right? They were of the view that they would agitate for the people of Jamaica. And here we are, several decades post-independence, and we haven't seen much by way of meaningful delivery. And in an interview I heard where Michael Manley mentioned that he underestimated the mindset of the people, that they wanted the level of progress that he aimed to get for them. How are you, especially compared to Michael Manley, how are you anticipating and reacting? I mean, what's your assessment of the people, the mindset, as far as their readiness for a proper representation? What are you going to do to inform their mindset so that they are properly ready to truly function as patriotic, political, active citizens?
The people are ready, as stated in the poll review that was put forth in the Gleaner. But what I believe that the people is not seeing is a strong, firm representative that they can lean to or lean towards, or say, all right, this seems like a good bed to lie on. Now we should all lay on this bed. That is what is lacking. The people want a change. It's there, it's evident. You understand? But they are not seeing a firm or a strong representative to act on their behalf. You understand what I mean? Now, you have mention of the PMP, People National Party. Michael Manley stated that if he was supposed to do it all over again, he would not. Now, Prime Minister means servant to the crown. How can a person with that ideology, or how can a person with that, knowing all of that, say that they are acting on behalf of the people? Can't work that way. We are saying that this party was created by Marcus Garvey under the principle of liberating black people, and not only that, liberating Jamaicans on a whole. You understand? And now we're taking a step further, where we're saying that we want to be in control fully of our own economic, of our own governance, and we are saying that the people should be engaged, fully engaged in all of that. You understand? So it cannot be done. It cannot be done with the JLP or the PMP, because they both have the answer to the crown. You understand what I mean? It have to be a representative. I don't want to put myself on my party on a pedestal to say, yeah, we are the answer. But it has to be a representative that the people select, that the people see fitting, and that the people is fully engaged with. It's there. The people want it. But it's we now have to put ourselves out there to say that we have heard your complaints, enough is enough, and we are the rock stone. We are the wall you can lean on. You understand what I mean?
Right. Let me say this real quick. Yeah, we have 68 people in the building. I must say, greatly appreciated, because I know it's not a musical reasoning, so the thing go, but this is a very important reasoning as it relates to, the politics and the interests of Jamaica. So you don't know, you got enough respect for the ones and ones you check in. And I just want to say this really quick. Last week was Michael Manley's birthday. You get what I say? And it's just sad. I mean, we are so tribal that not even the Prime Minister may see like highlight it like that. And I know, I think Mark Golden put it up because it got him a PNP, and we get that. But he was a Prime Minister of Jamaica, first and foremost. You get what I say? And me not really see like nobody from the JLP side even highlight that. But such is the nature of the tribal politics still.
Real talk. Yeah, man. I was participating in a Michael Manley book challenge for December, and I was reading The Politics of Change. I was rereading The Politics of Change. So you're so right. But then again, the JLPs have the view that Mr. Manley brought no value to Jamaica, so clearly they wouldn't celebrate him. So I go. So Mr. Campbell, I have a hope of questions, but I ask one or two more questions. See? I love how you frame what the prime minister is, wherein the prime minister serve at the behest of the queen, the crown rather. So, as Imhotep mentioned earlier, constitutional reform is pending. Constitutionally, the government doesn't have to solicit the citizenry for any participation. But we are of the view that we cannot trust the JLP and we cannot trust the PNP. How do we go about informing a constitution that will benefit us to the extent that you point to? See, since we constitutionally cannot don't have any, we're not it's not obligatory for us to participate in the process. How do we inform a new constitution that will affect all of us if the constitution doesn't afford us the ability to participate at this point?
Great question again. All right. Inform. All right. So all right. Really and truly, the massive average Jamaican don't even know what constitution is, much less to reform it. So we are using the opportunity when we're moving around different communities to highlight or to inform or to educate the people of that community or that parish the importance of participating or the importance of getting together with the PMP in constructing a new constitution or editing a new constitution proposal. And when that is done, we to complete version, the edited version, the firm constitution. When that is done, we then know as a people will serve it to the current government to say that this is our stand and we will not accept anything else differently from this. You understand what I mean? So it is a people effort. It can be done and it will be done. But the people have to first and foremost be educated and informed about the power that they have in this new constitutional reform and how they can work with us in putting that proposal to the current government. It can be done.
So Marlene and the PNP and the JLP have largely been making these changes behind the scenes, right? And in 1977, when the two sevens clashed, seeing Norman Manley retraced Paul Bogle's step path from Stony to Moreton Bay. Then he declared that Jamaica was going to go republic by 1981, and he advised that the people will be involved in the process all the way until we determine where we go in 1981. See, beyond the constitutional mandate of a plebiscite, the referendum that is, Michael wanted to give us more participation power to be involved in shaping what the new government will be. Based on what you're saying here, you would have to be in power, or the PNP would have to be in power to inform the shift that you just made reference to. At this point, unfortunately, you're not in power. For whatever it's worth, the PNP is not in power. Beyond the referendum that subsequently comes after the Constitution has been codified, drafted rather.
So in other words, you're saying that if you're not in power, then it cannot happen.
No, I'm not saying that. So you may have a shift. See, the current administration advised that the constitution will be reformed probably after the next general election. So we'll probably have a window of 2 years before they would look to put forward the referendum. My concern is that once we have that referendum, they would have already framed the language of the constitution, and in so doing, independent of the citizenry being participants, would you be interested in having the respective constituents engage, you know what I mean, their councillors, their MP? I mean, how do we inform them of the implications of the pending constitutional reform so that in short order they can be active to inform the Constitution wherein they don't have constitutional rights to do so?
Who don't have constitutional rights to do so?
The citizenry. We legally, we constitutionally, we don't have the right to participate in the process. The only thing that is constitutionally framed is the need for us to function in the capacity of a plebiscite, where we participate in a referendum, wherein 2/3 of the populace need to sign off on moving away, divorcing from the crown. That's the only function of the citizenry relative to constitutional reform in Jamaica. We don't have any power imbued. We're not empowered in any kind of way to inform the Constitution one way or another. And that's why it was so wonderful what Mr. Malley wanted to do in the 70s, empower people where they weren't constitutionally empowered.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So because we have a window of probably 24 months, so we don't have the luxury of waiting for a more people's friendly party like yours to come into power. So what can we do as a recourse until you are in power, where the people can be empowered?
I mean, we're living in an age where technology is prevalent. Social media is out there. I mean, we can use it to we will use it to our advantage, where our channel, our media is primarily focused on that. You understand what I mean? And how important it is for the massive to be awake and make a decision quick. As I stated before, it is not difficult because the population already want it. We already want it. So it is not difficult. It is just on us to be available, ready, and prepared for the people to stand with. So it will be done. It will be done. It will be done. It will be done.
So clearly, when we talk about politics, right, we can't go around money. And you talk about media, whether we're writing editorials, whether we're finding other means to engage the press, solicit the press for your support. You know what I mean? What would be your modus operandi? How would you go about? Because we have a small time frame, brother. And I'm certain you're mindful of the urgency for the fact that once this constitution is ratified, we shouldn't have an expectation for another constitution to be ratified in our lifetime. We'll hear the Prime Minister talk about what the new thing he talked about the other day, Imhotep.
Go back to what we say about money. Say we need money to do what?
Yeah, funding. We need funds. Unfortunately, I cannot divorce politics from money. To mobilize and engage the masses, whether it be literature, whatever press releases and so forth, grassroots efforts. Unfortunately, we need money. How will you go around that?
But all right, can I be frank with you? The event that is coming up on the 22nd, that was only an idea, and that was started with $0 in my account.
Okay.
You understand? So getting funding is not an issue. It's not an issue, because as a student of business, making dollars is not hard. You understand what I mean? But and as I stated before, whenever it is launched on the media properly, and we're in the massive phase daily, the people have no other choice but to move with what they want. So we're not seeking handout. We're not begging. We're not saying, boy, it is impossible because, you know, we can't do it. No, because no money that they're around. No, we're not saying that.
So
real quick, would you consider yourself a politician or an aspirant politician?
I'm a politician.
Okay. So I've never heard a politician say that money isn't a concern for him.
No, I'm saying allocating the funds is not a concern.
Even that, right? I've never heard a politician, even politician with the vast war chest, they've never, because here's the thing. This event that you have planned, you didn't come up against much tailwind, but if you want to compete against the PNP and JLP, you'll have to compete against billions of dollars, right? You clearly will have to have your proper game plan for compete with them. Do you have a game plan in that regard?
Right. Let me say this really quick before he answers, because he does he said that money isn't the problem, in the sense that accruing the money to carry out certain tasks and functions, he would have no difficulty achieving those objectives. But I do understand that, yeah, we know it got a funding and money, it take a lot of money. So he should have that mindset to say, well, let us try and generate, do a lot of fundraising. Fish fry, you get what me I say, cake sales, you get what me I say, you jerk over a little pan of chicken and, you sell some tickets. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a fun day where you have 6-a-side competition, everybody pay one couple thousand for enter, and the winner get 150,000. So so if you have all 20 teams, you make a little food there. So you get what I'm saying, family. But
Yep.
I don't know,
No,
Lalibela.
No, I
When
understand
he
Lalibella's
answers,
point.
I don't know if unlocking our voices, want to ask any question as well. If
yeah,
not,
man.
then okay. All right. So
One
Mr.
last
Campbell,
question.
got
One
you.
last
No,
question.
me understand. No, Lalibella, I understand your point when I say how you're gonna come up against a giant that is properly funded by the private sector. You understand what I mean? Or you're gonna compete with them. The reality is, as I stated many times, the people want it. The people want it, boss. The people want it, and we're standing with the people. You understand? So,
do the people know that they want it?
do the people know that they want it?
Yeah.
I don't understand the question.
Exactly. Because I am not of a view that, like, so here's where I want to go, right? Other than the Marcus Garvey name, I haven't heard much tangible references to point to why your party would make a difference versus the two parties.
Well, come and jump in there, Lalibella.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I hear the discussion and me are thinking on my head, and to piggyback upon your question, Mr. Campbell, you're saying that, as well Lalibella said, the people want it. One of the things that I come to understand is that the masses of Jamaicans have a very little view or understanding of politics. Right? And here we are, them are discuss for rewrite. Them should not think about rewrite or change or whatever. Them need to just demolish that constitution that was given to them. That is in my opinion. Them need to scrap that and create something that will benefit the masses of Jamaican people, that has they should not take it into any consideration Europe, America, or anybody else. But my thing is this, is that, how is it that if the constitution is being reformed in Jamaica, Lalibella said earlier that the people them don't have any say in that, and that is the problem, The people them have no say. Now, the people do have a say, because if the people organize themselves politically and understand Jamaican politics, there's no way that a constitution is being reformed in Jamaica and the masses of the public know little of the details and what's going on. That shouldn't be happening.
Thank you.
Right? That shouldn't be happening. The people them need to get involved, even in your political party, right? The Marcus Garvey party. You understand? Them they need to be involved, because we are talking about something that is going to have drastic impact. Both the JLP and the PNP has not done anything, in my opinion, now, you know. And me come from a PNP stronghold, you know, keep in mind, you know. But as, you know, move from Jamaica, come to America, and me start think and travel global, you know, me see things that is affecting black people all over the world. And it's the same
PNPs.
Jamaica, right? The same thing in Jamaica. So the people need to have an understanding of what's going on. If you are creating a political party, right? If you are creating a political party, what are you having town hall meetings? And keep in mind, as I mentioned to you earlier, you know, Garvey party wasn't a PNP or JLP. It was for black people. So are you creating a political party that can go into the trenches, whether it be PNP stronghold, JLP stronghold, whatever, right? Are you creating connection with the people? It's not a JLP, it's not a PNP thing. It's a party that can benefit the masses of the people, and that is the key, you know, right? Whether they're PNP, JLP, whatever. How are you getting the people engaged? Or are you getting the people understanding what it's about? Because you mentioned earlier too about Black history should be teaching and Garvey should be teaching. Right now, I don't believe the JLP or the PNP is going to make that into fruition.
Well, to be fair to Mark Golden, he did state, right?
Yes.
He did say that his administration would make it mandatory that Garvey is taught in schools.
Right. But remember, you know, when you're a politician, you know, you say nice things, you know, you say things, but when you don't implement it, right? The JLP is a political party, and the PNP is a political party. You understand? It's a political party.
Right.
There's no bill. There's nothing from the JLP as from its conception. There's nothing in which the JLP or the PNP put forth to make sure that Garvey or Black history is taught in Jamaica. So once again, these two political systems is not a political system for the masses or the people. It's a colonial system once again. So what is it that you are doing, the Garvey party is doing, to ensure that the people have a good grasp of their due diligence, of their civic duty to Jamaica or for Jamaica?
All right. So before he answers, let me just say this real quick. We have 78 people here, right? Enough respect. To those who are interested in joining the panel to ask a question, the link to join is pinned. If you're new to the channel, please remember to leave, you know, a like, and you can share it, and you can also subscribe if you appreciate the content. Just to say this real quick, unlocking our voices. Mark Golden said he was gonna do it as it relates to making Garveyism, you know, mandatory in schools. He has not been given the opportunity yet. So on that basis, you get what I'm saying? I'm not going to beat him too bad. But, you know, Mr. Campbell, you can go ahead and respond to what Unlocking Our Voices said. And I know Soji is here as well. I'll also allow him to ask a question or to add to the bill.
All right, Unlocking Our Voices. You make firstly, you make mention of how we are gonna move into the trenches and start PMP and JLP era, and then kind of work your way into the lives of the people. Now I'm gonna be real frank with you. The upliftment drive was started in a starch JLP area, and it was the people who came together and clean up the entire arena. I mean, with tractors, shovels. It was the people in the community who came together and did the decoration, did the setup of the stage and the lighting and so much more. It's the people who do that, not me. You understand what I mean? And it's the people who will be present at the workshop on time, present at the workshop to listen about what the party is coming with, the difference that we're coming with, and how they can be a part of that change. It's the people who is making that decision, not me. To be real frank with you, they were upset when they got the news late, which was not my fault, that this was going to be implemented in their community, and they weren't engaged in it. You understand? They were infuriated. You understand? So, as I stated before, the people are ready for it. The people are hungry for it. The people want it. You understand? It is just us to put it on a pedal stool that is suiting for the people to get on board and sail the waves with us. That's one. Two, you're saying that how we're going to do it. How we're going to do it. I mentioned first was with the social media. We're going to be prevalent. We're going to be on top of the newspaper, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. We're going to be in the school system, University of the West Indies, UTech, and the community college, spreading the awareness of not only Black history, but how youths can be a part of the change we want to see. You understand? We're going to be in the community. This, as I mentioned before, the upliftment launch will not be a one-off thing and done. It's going to be a continuous program right across the island, from community to community. So we're reaching all class of people. People from the inner city, people in the classroom, and people who is glued to social media. And as I said before, it will happen. It will come to fruition.
So, all right. So, all right. So, I have to really let Soji check in because he has been waiting here patiently. Soji, yeah, man, you can unmute your mic, family, and let me hear what you have to say now. Bless up.
Not only that, man, I mute the camera too.
Yeah, man, nothing wrong with that, man. Respect you check in, man.
All right, respect and manners to everybody. How you pronounce your name, my brethren? Antwayne or how you pronounce your name? Antwayne. All right. Good night. Respect. So I've been listening very keenly for the past, since me check in, and in my humble opinion, we kind of skirt around the main issues that plague Jamaica, and in my humble opinion, is competent leaders. All right. Because if you don't have competent leaders, it doesn't matter what program you have. If you have corrupt leaders and people who have no vision, no fundamental solving problems, skills, we're going to end up in the same thing. We're just going to end up with another third tribal system. All right. Now, we talk about fundamental problems. Jamaica has been plagued. The main problem for Jamaica is PNP and JLP, whether we want to admit it or not. I may have a question for my brethren Imhotep before me even ask Mr. Campbell.
Yes, Soji, got you.
How long Mr. Golden be a part of the People's National Party?
Mark Golden?
Yes.
A very long time, even in the 90s. So let's say over 25 years.
Okay.
No. Hold on. In the 90s, he wasn't officially a party member, but he
Right. But he was fully active still. He was fully active. You get what I'm saying? In terms of ministerial
legal-wise,
capacities.
legal support.
Yeah, man. We can definitely give him over 20 years, just for argument's sake.
Official.
Fair enough.
Active.
Right.
like an official.
Right. Yeah. We can definitely give him over 20 years for sure.
Okay, because you're saying that he hasn't gotten a chance. Have you ever seen him before he became the People's National Party president?
Right. All right. Let me just clarify real quick, not to interrupt you. My response to that was in the context of Mark Golden saying he would implement Garvey's
Right.
teachings in
But
schools. And I was
Right.
saying,
yeah,
in fairness to Mark Golden, we don't want to beat him too hard because even though he has said it, he has not gotten the chance to do so as yet. So I was speaking in that context.
yeah, but you have to listen
I agree.
to my reason to get my context. That's the
Right.
thing. There's two separate contexts, but if you check it out, they can be tied together, right? Because you can't do things just because you can't want to do things or say you're going to do things now that you want to get in power. My question was, have you ever heard him or anybody else that have been past leaders, whatever, advocate, but specifically to Mr. Golden? Specifically to Mr. Golden, have you heard him advocate to his party to implement Garvey, to implement Garveyism in the schools? It's a simple.
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying him don't do it, but
Right. Nothing wrong with that, Soji, man.
yeah.
I don't know, Soji. I don't know if you want ask Mr. Campbell a question or because Michael Davis is here as well, and we definitely want hear what him have to say as well.
So before the question is, do you think Jamaica problem is lack of leadership?
Yeah, Mr. Campbell. Do you think him say he must have gone for him charger, right?
I'm gone.
Yeah, I think it's him gone for him charger. Michael Davis, you can unmute your mic, family. Let me hear what you have to say in the meantime.
Let me mute him forward then.
Yeah, man, no problem, Soji. Michael Davis, unmute your mic, family, and let me hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I just a two-part question. Big up to everybody panel and everybody we are checking still.
Yeah,
But
man.
do you want to ask the Umbre, like, since him a come forth with this good idea, but you just want him kind of expand on theme ideology for a better Jamaica, little bit like
Right.
as far as like, if you go on the Jamaican people say, all right, make we give it a chance, we're going to hear your rational reasoning towards a more positive and better Jamaica. Also, me hear him says I think what the people want, yes, but me also would I like to tell him say if we do actually catch fire,
All
like
right. So
actually get
as
rooted
soon as
and
he gets back, right?
yeah,
As soon as he
yeah.
gets back, I'll have him answer Soji's question, and then yeah, man, you can go through. The only code that we're gonna have tonight, to the panelists is that we can definitely address, each other by the names. You get what I say? Yeah, because you don't know it go. So Mr. Campbell, Mr. Antwayne Campbell, that's his name.
I'm back.
So
I'm back, but can't find a
right.
charger. But I'm back.
You can't find your charger? How much percent you have?
15.
But hold on, man. Antwayne, you can't step on the battlefield and you're not in your suit and your armor and stuff like that, bro. Come on, man. But got you
Me
still.
use
That's what we do
my
to you.
phone if it drop out. Yeah.
All right, no problem, man. So Soji, unmute your mic and ask him your questions, and then Michael Davis after.
So Mr. Campbell, welcome back. So as I said, I've been listening, and would you think, or is it your opinion that resources is not really Jamaican problem? Is
Where somebody's mic is open.
Michael, mute the mic, yeah. Just
Go
mute the
ahead,
mic
man.
until when you're ready to talk, family.
did you hear the question, or I gotta repeat?
No, go ahead. Repeat that.
So I'm just saying, in my humble opinion, resources is not Jamaica's problem. Is competent leaders. Would you agree with that?
Yes, 100%.
So I was listening all night, and we talking about what we could do to earn in terms of economy and all that good stuff. But we fail to address the real problem that Jamaica have. Now, the next question is, do you think if you become Jamaica's president in a republic system, how you going to get the people to say, look here, no more JLP? I mean, you're not going to entirely eliminate it. But how you going to convince the people to buy into what you are doing? If you're not talking about, if you're not really stressing on leaders with vision, understanding, competency, and understand that they work for the people. They are not the boss. They work for the people. How are you going to get them out of the JLP and PNP mindset? How are you planning on doing that?
If I become president?
Yes, yes. So you have the power now. So just I gave you a scenario. You have the power to become president. How are you going? Or let me rewind a little bit. How are you going to get them out of that mindset for you to become, or the PPP to become, the next governing body of Jamaica? How are you going to convince them?
Change them environment. Change them environment. For years, PMP and JLP has been exchanging power. And if you go in the inner city, it's just the same. The zinc fence is there. Just the same. Them environment look dirty, just the same. Them road bad and crooked, just the same. Crime and violence is through the roof, just the same. And poor people is always suffering. You understand? So
you're telling me what is? You're
right.
telling me we already know that.
Right, but if you change all of that, boss, if you change all of that, then the people will ultimately give in to your ideology.
Okay.
Well, all right. So all right, that's a fair response. I mean, Mr. Campbell, as a Marcus Garvey student as well, one would say that the mere fact that Garveyism will be mandatory in school would definitely be a mental transformation, even from a very young stage. So that will lead to a lot of production and the development as well. Michael Davis, yeah, unmute your mic, family, and go ahead and ask Mr. Antwayne Campbell the questions that you wanted to ask.
Yeah. Man, say good night. I just did I say, come here and listen to your talk, so I kind of hear you touch upon it a little bit, but I did I listen for more. I would like to ask you certain things where you would have do for a more prospective, a more positive Jamaica, a more, growth of Jamaica, to bring up the people and up the levity. Also, knowing politics, say immediate change is a detrimental thing, so it have to be something gradually done. So I just want to hear some of the message them like where you are say you would have put forward to make things better inner city, from inner city to uptown, everywhere, the whole Jamaica in a whole.
All right, so I'm gonna state 4 things because there's many more in the manifesto, but I'm gonna state 4 things. All right, number 1 would be the implementation of the Black History and Marcus Garvey in school. 2 would be a state-funded educational system. You understand? Because I'm suffering now, fighting to pay my school fee, fighting. Because as you put in money and it go down, then if you select another course, then it comes straight back up. I mean, I talk about $200,000-$300,000 in a school fee. So a state-funded education, that's 2. 3, the students should be fed breakfast and lunch. And I'm talking about real substantive breakfast and lunch, where if you are impoverished, come from a home where your parent now have enough money to put lunch money in your pocket, your kids is safely transported to school and well fed. You understand? Not a bull and milk type of vibe. Me I talk like with our grown provision, banana, cassava, yam, dasheen. You understand? Battery's gonna die. So I'm gonna make it real quick. Another thing is that low affordable income houses. We are pushing for land for the landless, giving Jamaica the opportunity to purchase a land for agricultural use, living use, but in a more affordable state. You understand? So now we have NHT selling house for 60,000, 40 million, 60 million. That can't be done. There should be providing house and land that is comfortable. I'm talking monetary wise to the citizens. You know, them squatters, them refer to us people who settling on land and not pay them tax or haven't paid their tax for over years, on people land. Them call them squatters. Now, what we're saying is that why not develop a long payment scheme, like a long payment rental scheme, where after a period of time, then the persons who is settling on that land can now call that land their own.
Right.
Another
Yeah, continue.
Another thing is that a community council should be set up where community is responsible for their communities. You understand? Responsible for the cleanup, responsible for the safety, responsible for the transportation, responsible for the crime and violence, and fully engage with the security force. Whereas the police and the citizens in the community develop a strong, firm relationship. Whereas if them feel unsafe in them community, then them feel free to report it to the superintendent, and the superintendent deal with the crime or the
Right.
unsafeness
Right.
of that community.
So let me ask a question real quick, Mr. Campbell. So in the real world, right, and even in your environment, because I spoke to you the first time, and you tell me say you're grassroots, so you know how the garrison thing go and whatever, right? So in the real world, in a practicable world, what you just mentioned a while ago about community members and the police engaging in fighting crime and all of that stuff. How is that plausible right now, based on the various environments in these communities? We know say the Dan them dead, we know say bad man dead. So any police engagement will be deemed as what? A threat, right? And them call it an informer or whatever. So how is that practicable at this point in time?
Well, Indicom and other set of committees need to stop beat around the bush, stop behave like them not know and see what the real problem. The real problem is corrupt police officers. The real problem is corrupt superintendent. The real problem is corrupt MPs, because the MPs, the superintendent, surprisingly, if you don't know, have a good relationship with the Dan man them. You understand?
Right.
Them have a good relationship with the Dan man them. So Indicom and the different communities that is set up to mend corruption should be put out to the public,
Right.
you understand, and do them work, and should be
All right.
held accountable by the government, by the
Right.
state.
Right. I just
You
want to say
understand?
this, and then I'm gonna let Lali Bella, grab piece of the mic. I just want to say this because it's my platform. Me not really want nobody say me day here and make you say that Indicom supposed to go do this and do that, and me day me say nothing, because you don't know it go. We live and we learn. I am more mature than you. I mean, know say they are reason with all people, so that's how it go. But as it relates to Indicom now, so them kind of deal with more the police oversight as it relates to quote unquote controversial shootings or police shootings. You get what me I say? But I mean, at least they could be used for other purposes. I get your point. Lalibela, go ahead, family.
Yeah, man. So Antoine, you are of the view that if you were to present your portfolio to the people, your
No, sorry, Lalabelle. Sorry, Lalabelle. I only use Indicom because them was on the top of my mind. But of course, you have anti-corruption.
Right.
Yeah. So go ahead, Lalabelle. Sorry about that.
Yeah, man, cool. So, with what you said earlier, that if you were to present your case to the people, that they would be receptive, they would embrace it. And I think we all would agree that Damon Crawford is quite erudite, quite eloquent. He's down to earth. And I am of the view that he presented what made sense, where he would provide egalitarian means for the people, upward mobility. He wanted to offer them access to education and so forth, as opposed to mendicant type handouts. Yet still he was rejected twice in St. Andrew and in Portland. Given the fact that he failed miserably twice, why are you so confident that that would not be your reality?
All right. No. You see, the people of Jamaica is not a fool, and we're no fool. Damien Crawford is putting out baits that, you know, he's for the people, he's with the people, you know, he must say things that will get the people, you know, eye twist and eye turn. But the people know that he is, I'm trying to choose my words carefully. The people know that no real change now gonna come because he's still subscribed to the PMP manifesto. He's still subscribed to the PMP objectives. So why would I say, all right, green, all right, why would I say black party? No, why would I say blue sky party is corrupt party, is a corrupt party? We know that, we see that, then prove that time and time again. But this one individual or this two individual in the corrupt party is saying things that is soothing to us. So should we then say, all right, because them two persons they said things that is soothing to us, should we then say, all right, put them in power or put them in seat for what? As the same foolishness again. The people tired of the same madness, big man. We're tired of the same delusion. We're tired of the same show. We're tired of the same game where them keep playing. We're tired of it. You understand? It's enough. So we're not gonna say, all right, Damien Crawford, I said the things we like, so we're gonna put him in power, but he's still subscribed to the PMP, man. No, right. We're not.
Right. Unlocking our voices. Do you want to chime in?
Yeah, Mr. Campbell.
10%,
you mentioned
10%.
You mentioned that in terms of the state paying for the educational aspiration of the Jamaicans, right? Where am I gonna get the money from? And I am playing devil's advocate right now, in a king man. See?
Great question.
Right? Where am I gonna get the money from? You understand? When you look at them politicians there, the JLP and the PNP, they're not interested in educating the masses of the people. And you are subscribed for the state, the government, to give free education, higher education we are talking about. You think the politicians, them Jamaicans, the JLP and the PNP want to educate the masses of the people? So, absolutely not. But you propose these things. You propose that the state should fund that. How practical will that be?
How practical that would that be for the ruling government now?
Whichever government, the political, the PNP and the JLP, in terms of funding the higher.
No, they won't do it. They won't do it because we are in a capitalistic society. You understand? Right. So they won't do it as long as the IMF, the big bad elephant in the room,
No, we want to get rid of them. We want to get rid of them. We don't want them in the thing. We want to get rid of them, boy.
Right. So we can go hard and fast on it tonight, you know. As long as, because don't beat around the bush, big man.
Right.
It's a capitalist system, right? IMF. We are, and the elephant is in the room.
Right.
IMF is in the room. If we eliminate the IMF, big man, if we move away from the IMF program and sign on to a different regime, you understand? BRICS, so to speak.
No. You listen, big man.
All right. Cool. We not forget this.
My agenda, right? My agenda, and since we are talking about Garvey, King man, you see anything Western? When I say Western, I mean I talk.
No. I only bring it as an example, you know, big man.
But why do that? You say why not look out to Nigeria? Why not look out?
No. I was gonna get there. But me just because just for argument's sake.
Okay.
You understand? No, you are saying to me that the two political party, the state-funded education cannot work, which I agree, because it's a capitalist system. IMF, the elephant is in the room. But we can move away from that. We can go back to our original route then. You understand? And create a firm economy that can sustain a state-funded education.
Right.
Why are you making it seems like it is hard to accomplish? It's not.
No, I'm not saying it is hard, you know. I'm not saying that, but may I say with the current model that we have.
No, they won't accept it. They won't do it.
So exactly the current model that we have, it's not going to happen.
Hold on, Speed. Hold on 1 second, Speed. Let's all I can advise is you can just finish what you're saying and then Speed can say what he's saying.
Right. It's not.
But before you go further, though, unlock it.
Right.
It will not happen under the previous government and under the current government. It will never happen. And that is why we need a change.
I'm glad you established that. Glad you really established that. And I think with the Garvey political party, it's essential. It's essential that we build ties with not only West African states, countries, but also in southern parts of Africa, in particular South Africa, Namibia, and may I tell you about them places still, because we know that we have like the EFF, the BLF in South Africa, which is very pro-Black and Pan-Africanist, and it is important that you stretch forth your hand into these parts of Africa, because Europe, Canada, and America now go work in the interest of the masses of Black people in Jamaica.
Right. It's a Speed, yeah, man. Big up.
Yeah.
See you check in, man. Go through.
Thank you. Big up yourself and the other people on the panel. I like to ask a few questions, and the questions, it pertains me, because if I'm going to vote for your party, it has to be for my best interest, right? And my family. Questions I like to ask. The banking system in Jamaica is very weak. I have money in Jamaica, and I'm watching my money every day. And there's a lock on my bank account right now, which is hard for me to even view my bank account. Anyway, what are you going to do to strengthen the banking system and hold executives accountable? Also, there are people who buys property in Jamaica and hasn't gone down in years, but they work in foreign and they pay their mortgage and build their house and try to fix up their land. And when they go back down to Jamaica, what they see is people living in their houses and trying to capture their property. What are you going to do about that?
All right. So, let me see. He's spinning right now, so I'm not sure if his laptop died or whatever still. But
I got many more questions, but those are the most important questions to me, and it's financial. It's very important because.
But it's a Speed. the
Huh?
question of you know the squatting, right, or
Yeah,
someone
it
living in
is a
your
problem.
house.
It is
Yeah,
a problem.
but hold on. But
Sorry,
remember,
sorry about that. My
as the
laptop
owner of
died.
the house, it's your responsibility for really secure your property. Still, not true.
Yes, but if a person, like for example, a family member of mine, right, has a property, have been in
Right,
foreign for a long time, right, and the house has been sit there, right,
right,
and when they go down, they see people living, bad man,
right,
living in the house, right.
right.
Now
Um,
they have to take the steps to go to police station, and it's so turn out that people are connected from area leader to the man them in the house, and that's a real problem.
right. But the thing is, with private property, it is really your responsibility to protect it. But Mr. Campbell is back, so it's a
Mr.
speed. You can
Campbell,
go ahead and ask him your questions.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
what are you going to take steps to secure people private property, like people who have property in Jamaica, right? They're squatters who are trying to take over people's land. What are you going to do to stop that? Also,
Well,
there's money in the bank, and bank accounts are being locked, and money is being walking out of the bank. I'm talking about thousands of dollars just disappearing. And 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 one of the problem is that in order to straighten it out, you have to go to Jamaica. So therefore, you have to buy a plane ticket, and you
Wow.
always get a run around when you walk into the bank and deal with the tellers, right? So therefore, it takes many trips to Jamaica just to clean up your bank account. That's a problem. So therefore, it doesn't give the person the reassurance to be putting their money in their own country. Who
Right.
wants
So,
to
so
lose
your
their
question
money?
is
Hmm.
pretty much how
It's two
what
questions
is
I
he going
want to
to do
ask.
to strengthen the financial system,
Yeah,
right,
and
and
stop
to secure
squatters.
people's money, and about the land part, right?
Yes, and the squatters.
Right. So go to Mr. Campbell.
I'm out.
Yeah, man. Big up SSP if you check in. Yeah. So pretty much he's asking like, what policies would you implement to protect the Jamaican depositors, right, and ensure that the financial system is safe and secure, you know, for everyone. And how would you address squatting?
all right. So let us deal with the squat. I don't want to call about the squatters, but let us deal with the squatting situation first. You understand? It's a private owned land, right? It's a private owned land, and a private owned land holder or owner must adhere to them taxes.
Right.
That's number one. And if and when a private owner is adhering to his or her taxes and paying them taxes well up to date, and they return to their homeland, they should be given all right and access to that homeland without a doubt. Now, as I previously stated, that to eliminate that problem, big man, NHT should provide low income earners the opportunity to live in or purchase a low income home or land. That's one. Two, NHT should implement a long payment rental scheme plan for potential homeowners to take part in, so that one day they can call that place that them stay in their
Right.
official homes. So
Right.
that
So
is
that
how
would be more like a lease to own. You know, you lease
least
it for a 5 year or 10 year, and then you own it after. Yeah, that's
precise.
a valid point. So as it relates to strengthening the financial system to give the Jamaican John public the peace of mind to know that their money is secure in the banks. Like, what's your take on that? How would you approach it?
All right. So the big scandal that took place with SSL and UCN funding and so many others. That is entirely on
the entity, not call a name, that is responsible for managing and maintaining public funding. And now we see when they are lacking in such area, there is no government agency, not even the Minister of Finance, that is holding that entity to account.
So hold that point, Antwayne. If the entity is a government entity, we have to call it out. I don't know if you're referring to the Financial Service Commission. You get what I'm saying? Because they are the body that really, regulate the thing from the Ministry of Finance. But we have to just call, they are a government entity. So, we can call them name.
All right, fair enough. If you never want to put your channel into
no, man, we're not worried about that, man. We're not worried about that.
Yeah, right. So FSC, big man, should be held accountable. You see, the thing is, what we don't understand is that we, the people, have the power, and the politicians are the servants to us. You understand? And whenever they are not performing in a way that they should, we supposed to hold them accountable and push them off. That is what I'm saying, Now, FSC, who is responsible for the public funds, whether in a SFC or any financial institution, and the public fund is being missing, and the ring around and the rosy-posy to get it back. And we, the public, sit aside and say, "Why? I saw it go, yeah, I saw Jamaica stand." Who really should be blamed? It's we, the people. We, the people. That's what I'm saying when I say real power need to be given back to the people of Jamaica. The people of Jamaica should have a strong, firm position in what is taking place in their country, and have the opportunity to move or remove or replace anyone or any entity that is not doing their work, because they're there, but they're not doing their work.
Right.
But Mr.
Unlocking our
Campbell,
voices. Go ahead.
Mr. Campbell, but the people never had real power in the first place, King Man. And that's what we need for understanding and keep it real. And that is why Garvey create a political party in which you have resurrect. The people did not have power. You see me? The people never have power, King Man. And that's why I want to make sure that you is moving in the direction that Garvey was moving, in the direction in which he wanted the people, the masses,
certainly
power.
Certainly.
Right? And that is why the charade is going on right now with trying to redraft the constitution in Jamaica in the closed door, back door, and all this and so forth. The people, the masses of the people, them don't know what are going on, really. Yep. And both the JLP and the PNP, they are not publicizing it in such a way that the people can be well informed, because them don't want the people informed. You see me?
So, Lalibela?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to ask a question, because I know Mr. Campbell has been here for a bit, and we're over the 2-hour mark. I want him to also leave his information with the audience, so that for those who can support what he's doing, even the youth upliftment, that program that he's doing, he can be able to do so. So go to Lalibela, and then we can just deal with that formality there with Mr. Campbell.
Man. Yeah, so Mr. Campbell, you've tacitly voiced your disdain for what you mentioned as Jamaica's democratic and potentially capitalistic framework. Are you opposed to a free market economy? And are you against our current democratic framework? Are you one for a more socialist or democratic socialist form of government and economy?
Yes, certainly.
Okay. The thing that's still concerning me, though, is like, I'm trying to figure out, I know you've said it, And I'm trying to figure out, how do you truly, in the real world, as Imhotep said earlier, go around the impasse of
the two giants?
Not only the two giants, but also media outlets that prop them up. You know, Michael Manley, right? I have a Michael Manley scrapbook. Largely from the Gleaner, right? The Gleaner was, in many respects, anti-Michael Manley, and I have this hardcover special print scrapbook. And if we were to read most of those articles, they were anti-Michael. And clearly,
and we can kind of come up to it now. All right, when Marcus Garvey was treading earth, he was dealing with issues that the people were facing, and that was prevalent. So whenever he become this firm voice for the people ultimately gravitate to it and move with it, because it was, in other words, a demand for the people, and he was bringing that solution for the people needs. Now, even though we are talking about America now, even though America was against him when the KKK was rampant in the States, I talk blood, people are dead, black man are dead. Even when death was involved, media house was blocking him. Even when CIA get involved, the black massive was still on Garvey's side, because he was the voice for the voiceless. He was the emblem for the people suffering. You understand? He was the face for the people. And the reason being was that the people were going, in that time, the people were in a state where what he was advocating for, it was uncomfortable and ready to blow up by a relatable then to the massive. So therefore he gained popularity, he gained stamina, he gained momentum because of the people demand. Now, fast forward to this day, as I stated before, the people want to change. The people tired of the two colonial tribalism party. Them tired of it. It's there. The poll show it. You understand? The reason why the conference was that full was, we all know they got paid for it. You understand? The people desperately need a change. As I mentioned before, the upliftment drive, youth upliftment drive coming Friday, it was the people in the community who, for free, who clean up the area with tractor, set up the place beautifully, give the stage for the platform. So that's a clear indication that the people need a change. It's there, it's right in front of our faces. Now, the people just need to see a firm representative, which the PPP is aspiring to be. And whenever we accomplish that firm representative, then ultimately the people will sign on to our program, even though the media and even though the powerhouses would be against it. The people have to make the decision. We can't move without the people authorization. You can't move before the people. You have to move with the people.
So your progenitor, Marcus Garvey, didn't gain much traction in Jamaica. He subsequently went to America. And I have to give you some pushback in regard to your characterization of his experience in America. Garvey actually aligned with the Klan and other white nationalists.
Yes, he did. Because he wanted blacks out of the country.
And agitated for a lot of policies that were deemed anti-black at the time in America. Now, I don't want to really focus on that, but if Garvey wasn't able to gain meaningful traction in Jamaica, why then do you expect to gain what he wasn't able to secure?
All right, quick question though, Lalibela. From my end, when you say Garvey was aligned with the Klan,
clear up
right?
that, please.
Can you just elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, man. Marcus Garvey, when he met the Grand Wizard Clark in Atlanta, he agitated for policies that would segregate black people from white people in America. And he pointed toward the success of the white nationalists in Richmond, Virginia, who supported him And one of those individuals was the very individual who wrote a letter to Coolidge to pardon Garvey. So when Garvey got to an impasse in America, right? He corresponded with a lot of white nationalists who wanted black people out of America. And so he went way beyond the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, whom he met in Atlanta. He met with several white nationalists who were anti-black in America. He wrote extensively. You can read the correspondence there out there for public view, where he praised them. They funded him, wanted to fund his effort to get black people out of America and so forth. And that is the very reason why a lot of black Americans were in opposition of Marcus Garvey's approach.
Right. So all of what you said Marcus Garvey did, that would be in the spirit of diplomacy and in the interest of getting black people outside or from around these people who were killing them and lynching them and stuff like that. So one would say that the intention was good and beneficial to black people, right? The objective and his capacity, one would say it would have been more of a diplomatic approach, more than an alignment where you know him and them partnership and stuff like that, you know.
In all fairness, if you were to read the correspondence, it goes beyond the assumption that it is diplomatic, right? And truth being told, a lot of these policies adversely impacted black Americans. See, Garvey was of the view that black people should go to Africa, but not all black Americans were of that view. And Garvey had a scorched earth policy where all black people should go to Africa, and he cared not what black Americans wanted. And in many respects, a lot of these policies that he championed adversely impacted black Americans in America.
Lalibela, we touched upon that already, me after offline already, and see, I am in the agreement with Imhotep, and I'm also in agreement with Mr. Campbell, is that I believe that those things were done out of diplomatic. You understand?
But the facts doesn't support that reason.
I always held on to that belief, you understand? And believe me, God, at the time, as you mentioned, when black people get killed from left to right, you name it, you understand? And God believed that it was best for the black man to have his own nation or continent in the sense, right? So to be honest with you, you know, I am not going to put much dwelling upon that. I just see it as a diplomatic approach that Garvey was trying to achieve something.
Well, to be told as well, you know, unlocking our voices. Remember that Liberia was created way before Marcus Garvey.
Right.
Way before Marcus Garvey, and black people were being sent from America over to Liberia way before Garvey got into this. So that was not as if it was nothing new. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
In terms of getting people out. But just to say about an alignment, right? It would more has to do with an association, you know, with a collective objective in mind. So it was more of Garvey doing diplomatic, you know, maneuvers in the best interest of the black man based on his observation of their plight at the time.
Okay. If you guys were to read these correspondence and several peer-reviewed theses and other documentations, writings have been published, right? If you guys were to read them and are objective, you honestly wouldn't be of this view, especially the anti-interracial marriage and so forth, right? Garvey was a staunch opponent of that. And in so doing, lots of black people went to prison because of Garvey's position when it comes to those things. Garvey wasn't as connected with black America as we would hope. And as it relates to Liberia, America warned Liberia about not engaging with Marcus Garvey, right? So, but I don't want to have that conversation right now because it doesn't pertain to
No,
Mr.
that's fine.
Campbell.
Yeah, that's fine. We can definitely
at another day, at another time.
We can have a bill, but Mr. Campbell.
No, but Lalibela, really and truly, I want to have the discussion with you. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Mr. Campbell, Just leave your information so we can know how to support the thing, man.
All right. So the email address is mgppp24@gmail.com. mgppp24@gmail.com. My personal contact information is 3024-777. 3024-777. But if you are interested in being a part of the movement, you can definitely shoot me an email, and a form will be sent to your email.
Right,
But
and your social media
contact me
handles.
personally.
Your social media handles too.
Yeah.
All right. So for Instagram, it is MGPP. So that's M.G.P.P. Same thing for Facebook as well.
Triple P.
So M.G.
Okay.
All right, so now write that down good, so we can, because more reach out to you
right
after this, so we can get some talking going, you know.
Right.
Definitely.
So I'm looking our voices. You have his number, right?
No, but you can't get it afterwards.
Eh? No, I mean, me have it to Lalibela, so I can give it to you, Lalibela, as well.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Just to repeat, Mr. Campbell, repeat your number for the audience so that they can hear again, just in case they miss out any digits.
All right. So my personal contact number is 3024-777. That's a personal.
Right, and you're in Jamaica, so that's a 1876 or 876, right?
Yeah, that's a 1876 302-4777. Lalibela, give me a call. We can discuss about the alignment.
Yeah, man. And the truth is, one, unlocking our voice, we really engage you with Mr. Golden. And it would be nice if eventually, we can have you, Mr. Golden, and even unlocking our voice on this platform.
True.
So we can further the discourse.
But I need to talk to unlocking our voices. Yeah, in a real life, because
in a real life.
That would be like to have Mr. Golden over here as well. Yeah, man. Definitely have a little, interview with him as well.
Yeah, man. Steve will be at home. No, man. Steve will be at
initiate that man unlocking our voices. Initiate.
Right.
Yeah, man. Steve will be at home here, and I think that's a necessary and worth the discourse.
Yes, it's a must, man. It's definitely a must, and Steve and I we talk on different issues and thing, and if we are dealing with a Marcus Garvey revival and the importance of the masses of the Jamaican, it is important that Steve and you really in communication, and ash out whatever needs to be ash out. But there's no way that you revive the political party at Garvey and the president of the UNIA chapter in Jamaica is not in community. No, that
right. Yeah, that is more like fragmentation, which is the antithesis of Marcus Garvey's philosophy. I get that.
Definitely.
So go to Lalibela and then we kind of close off things, Go to family.
Unlocking our voice was at Liberty Hall with Steve, deal with Garvey related stuff, and Mr. Campbell should have been there too. You know them kind of way there. So we need to platform these individuals. Steve is already in academia teaching Garvey's philosophy in schools. So I mean, I don't know if there's a more appropriate individual. He has proper access to the media and so forth in Jamaica. So it's like, to the extent that we want to push Garveyism in Jamaica politically, socially, and in every other way, educational-wise, through the pedagogy system, Steve is a man. But yeah, man, I greatly appreciate the reasoning. And let's focus on that first. The mission of rescuing people in Jamaica versus my idle dialogue about Garvey's
alignment. Garvey's alignment. Yeah, because say me and you are going in the ring with the alignment thing there.
Yeah. No, we can't let it go. Say
me I go say the alignment even in World War II, the alignment was upon the axis, you have Germany, you have Japan, and you have Italy. And upon the quote-unquote allies, you have America, you have Britain, and you have France. You get what me I say? So me would have said them more aligned, but you
don't
get what me
say,
over so you say still.
don't continue no further, man. But leave if you
No, man, yeah, man, definitely, man. We are close this off now, 56 people there, but enough respect for the check-in to each and every one. Unlocking our voices, we definitely need to get Mr. Golden on the platform.
Definitely.
So yeah, man, we can definitely sort this out because, as you say, it's not a good look,
Yeah,
definitely.
Mr.
Yeah,
Campbell,
man.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Big up on yourself.
Give thanks.
Yeah, man. Big up on yourself, man. You know it, go, man. Greatly appreciate the bill and the
man.
interview.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the platform.
Yeah, man.
Voice, soldier, everyone. You know what I mean? What next virgin name forward on earlier?
Michael Davis.
Michael Davis. I think
Right.
Speed, right? Or was it Speed? Or
yeah, right. Speed did check in too.
Yeah, and then clearly we cannot get this done without the folks in the chat.
Right.
Yes, man.
As always.
I love.
Yeah, man. Enough respect.
Man.
Yeah, man.
So
people, on the big up on yourself, you get what me I say? We greatly appreciate the support as always. Right? You know the thing going on. Yeah, man, this was a very good interview, so to speak. A little build as well, a Q&A after, the little reasoning. So greatly appreciate the support. Yeah, man, you know it go. Because at the end of the day, yeah, man, he's a young, developing, man. So we have to kind of support the thing. Marcus Garvey's ideologies and philosophies. And we have to kind of support the thing. So greatly appreciate Lali Bella, unlocking our voices. Thank you, Mr. Campbell, Michael Davis, Thank you, Essa Spade, Sweet P, bless up, Michelle Clark, respect. Clifford Cameron, yeah man, enough respect. Only good karma, big up. Dead D, big up. Private figure, yeah man, better late than never family, big up. You know it go. Play forward is always there, you see it? Yeah man, you know it go. Maat Root, yeah man, big up. Gratitude for the support. Brian African King, respect as always, family. Michael Clarendon, respect. Us of America. Big up yourself. You get what me I say. You know the thing go. Ganja Aladdin. Yeah, man. Big up yourself. You know the thing go. Self-made. Yeah, man. Big up family. All the ones and ones, wavy crack. You know the thing go, family. Big up. Big up to Hannibal. Big up to AK Sinclair. MB. Give thanks to check-in. Lady J. Respect. Ruan Noble. Indigenous movement. Big up. You get what me I say? All of the ones and ones, them, man. You know the thing go, man. Lynette Thompson. Big up yourself. All of the ones and ones, them. Give thanks. So, yeah, man, the next reasoning, you know it going on. If you're new to the channel, yeah, man, just make sure you leave a subscription. If you subscribe, just make sure that you hit the notification bell and you hit all. So when we go live, you don't miss it because, ones and ones have been reaching out and letting me know that they're not getting notified when I go live. But sometimes it's when you hit the subscription button, you really have to click all or else it's gonna personalize it. So enough respect again. We'll catch you up on the next one, man. Big up on yourself.